sitting on my shelf. It is P21s Wax Concourse look. I'm working on an S-Class Mercedes, so I thought I would bring you in. I've used this now about 3 times, and so far I'm going to give it a 2 thumbs up. So here's the product. It comes with its own applicator pad. I've already applied it to this hood. I've done a single stage polish with this. I asked Johnny customer, he didn't want to go level 10, and I didn't recommend level 10. He wanted to raise it 1 notch, so that was a simple 1-step polish. I've applied the wax. Notice I'm working in the shade, and that's the thing. Virtually every product will say use it on a cool shaded surface, but in the world of professional mobile detailing, you don't always have that luxury. So that's where you need to find that, if it's important to you, that added element of benefit. Can it be used in the sun? Virtually every product will say not to, but I can tweak products and I can respond to the situation, whether it's light colored, dark colored car, in the direct sun, or in diffused sunlight. So you can respond, and you can usually tweak something so it can be used in the sun. Anyhow, you notice how easily that came off, and look at that shine. And once again, I have polished it, so not to diminish the benefits of this product, but this really is just really easy to use. So check that out. See my finger? Notice the reflection of my fingers and my hand onto the paint. Shine reigns supreme, folk. The reality is I've got some good news and bad news for you. The good news is that there's endless exceptional products out there, especially when it comes to waxes. This is one of them. The bad news is that there's endless exceptional products out there. Why is that possibly the bad news? Well, you visit any forum or the Facebook group, and you will be bombarded with endless opinions, everyone claiming that this wax is the best, this wax lasts the longest, this wax fill in the blank. And so as a beginner, often you just want someone that you have confidence in that can just say, you know what, don't overthink it at the beginning. Just use this wax. You know why? Because I promise you, you will experiment with other waxes. It is natural. You will not be able to help yourself. After a few months, you'll have a shelf in your garage that is lined up with endless waxes. Why? Because that's just kind of the way detailers and guys are wired. We like things. It's kind of like women in their shoes. For us, it's polishes and waxes and cleaners and tools, and go down the list. So that's both the good news and the bad news. So when it comes to a wax, and this is a little tidbit that you need to know, wax is for protection and visual enhancement. Now, waxes will only do so much to visually enhance and to camouflage or to cover up the blemishes and flaws in your paint. Polishing is what restores the depth and gloss and shine. That is polishing. That is a separate process. So wax merely enhances what is already there. How do you verify that something is actually still there and still protecting your car? So I do not overthink that part of the equation. And honestly, when customers ask me, I give them the standard answer, which is, 3 to 6 months, depending upon how you care for your car, how long does it sit in the sun, how often do you wash it, those kinds of things. And this is based on the manufacturer's recommendations also. But in the meantime, this is going to go on my list, my top choices for waxes, because when you factor in the other variables like ease of use, ease of application, how easily is it removed, all those things, this has a great user experience. Easy on, easy off. It does not leave that kind of greasy type of a look on black cars that you have to rub endlessly to get rid of. It really comes off super easy. So when you factor in the bigger picture and all those benefits of a product rather than just the results, because if you have a wax that delivers exceptional results as far as glossing and enhancing and covering or camouflaging flaws, that's only one part of the equation. If it's so miserable to use, you find that you never want to use it, then how good is that wax sitting on your shelf collecting dust month after month after month if it never makes it onto your car? So you really do not underestimate the draw of an exceptional user experience. So welcome back. It's about 5 hours later. This hood is in the direct sunlight. I took my temperature reading. It is 144 degrees. To give you some kind of context for that, when you first put your hand on it, it feels pretty warm. and I can keep it there, about 5 seconds, and then it's gonna literally burn your hand. So I've applied some of this wax because I wanted to see if I could manipulate it so it would work in the direct sunlight. The reality is that I believe carnauba wax, based on the actual formulation of it, starts melting at somewhere between 140 and 160 degrees, depending upon who you ask and the way it's actually formulated and refined. So I have some that I put on about 5 minutes ago. It is completely hazed up, and I wanted to see what kind of results I could get. Okay, check that out. I'm impressed. Once again, off-label use. It is possible. This wax now passes the direct sunlight on hot paint test, despite what the manufacturer's labels would tell you. But once again, it's all about responding based on the circumstances. So if I'm doing it in direct sunlight, I'm going to likely do a small patch at a time, immediately buff off. That's how I would approach this if I was working in the direct sunlight, because I know quite a few of you have written in and asked, Darren, teach me some tricks for working in the direct sun. I never use a canopy. I don't even own a canopy. So it's really about kind of strategize. Whether you've got to find some shade from a tree, you've got to schedule the appointment first thing in the morning where the sun is not as intense, or in the evening time, whatever. There's always workarounds, put it that way. From your perspective, it's hard to tell. And in many ways, this car likely looks perfect. I can assure you it is not perfect. I would put this at a level 7 in my hypercritical eyes. And I'm sure the flaws and blemishes are starting to show up in this direct lighting and from this angle. But I wanted to show you that I was able to remove that wax. There's no outline, there's nothing. There's no residue. It's a low dusting formulation. So really, I'm impressed. So this is a great product. I give it 2 thumbs up. If you want to get some of your own and add it to your arsenal or your collection of trophies in your garage or basement or whatever. By the way, if you like the video, just give it a thumbs up. You can follow me on Instagram, or you can follow me on Facebook.
Once a day that I would pray for you. I'd go and misbehave just so you'd notice too. Sneaking looks up and